Are King James Bible believers church splitters? Ooh, that sometimes happens.
This is one I have such personal connection to. In the last 14 and a half plus years I've worked here at Chick, I got an email address pretty quickly, and people learned they could write to me. And especially as I started writing articles and books and stuff, people told me their private situations. And I have found that people were, one, church planters or pillars of the church who'd been in a congregation for years. And right there in the statement of faith, it said, we believe that God has preserved His words, and the King James Bible is the only book we believe in English is God's words. Really simple. It makes it so that everybody is on the same page, quite literally. You can read the same words, pass down the same understanding, and have unity in the faith. Well, guess what? They sent me these letters saying, you won't believe what happened. And usually I do believe what happened. What happened is a person went to college, came back from college, a person was added to the staff, became an associate pastor, youth pastor, or a new minister. And in each of those cases, they came back with their new understanding and knowledge and started subverting the people and slandering the King James Bible. And then it was not on a Wednesday night and not on a Sunday night, but usually, it just was in my email, on Thursday nights, they'd get together quietly and rewrite the statement of faith. And rewrite what we believe so that it no longer said the King James Bible. And the very next Sunday, two things happened. One, they started making fun and denigrating the King James Bible in church. And number two, they called anybody who said, what are you doing, a church splitter. Who really split that church?
That's a sad statement. And I believe it. It goes on all the time. But then the question becomes, well, what do you do with it? What if your church decides to move away from the King James Bible? You have to decide what you're going to do for you and your family. Sometimes you have a fellowship there that you want to stay with. Again, it's a personal choice, and nobody should condemn you for what you decide is best for you and your family. Although my thought is, and I heard this from somebody, you should go where you're celebrated, not where you're tolerated. So that's something to think about. Now, sometimes what's involved in church splits is not just the Bible issue, but many other things. And you have to decide, how do you want to get involved in a fight like that? Because many times it creates animosity, and the idea is that we're supposed to live at peace with all men, especially the brethren. So you don't want to get into that sort of thing if you can help it. And unless you really feel strongly that the Lord wants you there and wants you involved, and you need to deal with these issues, then you can decide to do that. But otherwise, if it's just about the Bible issue and the church as a whole is moving away from it, then maybe you should try to find a place where they do actually believe the Scriptures, the King James Bible. And Dave, you said that you should, I can't remember. This is why my hair is gray.
What I was saying was that there is an opportunity. Some of my friends, like in Canada and other places, have had places where they're just so many miles away, they can't find any church that's like that. So then they look for a church that at least tolerates their reading the King James. And the advantage of that, if you can find people who will allow you to be there, not trying to make waves, just standing in faith. And you read your Bible, and if they tolerate you, then when they come to that point where they may actually have the questions, you will be there. And you can help answer them. And maybe the Lord will use you to turn things back around.